loves, welcome back to my channel. Tonight I am making 2 cozy recipes that you can make for your family during the holidays. These are super easy to do and so delicious and different. You're really gonna love these recipes. So as always, grab a glass of wine. I am drinking Prosecco tonight, and let's get to making these 2 delicious recipes. We're gonna start with an Italian wedding soup. And we're also going to make a mushroom risotto. These are 2 classic dishes that I love to make for my family. They are so delicious and not a typical weeknight dinner, so it's a nice, fun, different change to have during the holidays. And as always, thank you for watching this video. If you would like to see future videos, please hit the subscribe button and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And let's get to making these delicious recipes. So first we're going to want to make mini little meatballs for our Italian wedding soup. So I have a pound of a mixture of ground beef and ground pork. I'm just going to put my ring there. And I'm just going to mix the 2 together. And then also to make these meatballs, I made a mixture of Italian breadcrumbs. I basically just got plain breadcrumbs and put parsley and oregano and basil in here, along with garlic powder and garlic salt. So I'm just going to dump that in my bowl. And I also have a half cup of shredded Parmesan. Put that in our bowl. And you can make these meatballs for anything if you want to make it with some sauce, whatever your heart desires. And then I have 1 egg. And I'm going to use my hand because this is the best way to get it all evenly distributed. These meatballs are going to be so yummy, and like I said, you don't even need to make these meatballs for this soup. If this is all you need to do for the week and add some pasta and sauce, that's perfect and easy. I also make ground turkey meatballs for something a little lighter. But since we have soup with a bunch of vegetables, I figured we want like a heartier type of meat. And you don't want to mix the meat too much because then the meatballs are going to be dry. So I'm going to go wash my hands and I'll show you the next step. So now we're going to make the little meatballs. So I'm going to make them about golf ball size big. And then after we make all these little meatballs, I'll show you the next step. So I finished rolling out all my meatballs, and now I have my pot that I'm going to make this soup in. You can use a skillet at this point. I just like to use the whole pot that I'm going to use for a soup, so it's a much easier cleanup. But I just drizzled it with some olive oil and I heated it up on medium-high heat, so let's go fry up some meatballs. So I have a little bit of olive oil drizzled in the bottom of my pan. Again, you can use a frying pan. I'm just going to do a 1-pot deal for my soup. So I'm going to have it on medium heat, and I'm going to fry up my meatballs. And I'm going to cover it so they get nice and brown on their edges, but then it thoroughly cooks on the inside. Now I'm going to flip my meatballs. See how they're nice and golden brown on that one side? The meatballs are done, so I'm going to put them on a separate plate. And the brown bits that I can't get at the bottom of the pan, I'm going to leave. Now for the soup itself, we need this sort of pasta. It is really tiny little pellets. I'll get up close. Acini di pepe, so it's very, very tiny little pellets, even smaller than orzo pasta. That is the traditional Italian wedding soup pasta, and it is delicious. It's almost like little rice pebbles. And then I chopped up some fresh parsley and basil, and then I have dried oregano. I have 3 stalks of celery and 2 large carrots chopped up, and then 1 medium onion. And then I have some Parmesan to top on top. And then of course we have 8 cups of chicken broth in this bowl right here. So now I'm going to saute all my veggies, so my onions, my carrots, and celery in the same pot that I just cooked the meatballs in. So I'm gonna turn it on medium heat. See all the brown bits in there? I'm gonna drizzle a little bit more olive oil just so we have enough to cook up our veggies and make them nice and soft. So I'm adding all my onions, carrots, and celery. And I'm going to let them saute with the olive oil for about 5 minutes until they're nice and soft. And while I'm letting the veggies soften, I am picking up all the brown bits at the bottom of the pan, just so this can help flavor our soup. It's going to be delicious and perfect for a cozy holiday night. Grab a bowl of Italian wedding soup and a Christmas cookie, and you can watch some Christmas movies. Comment down below your favorite Christmas movie and give me any recommendations, because I think I've watched all the Christmas movies I could thus far. So it's been 5 minutes. My veggies are nice and soft. Now I'm going to add a spoonful of garlic. Going to add my fresh parsley and basil. And if you have fresh oregano, that's better, but I only have dried, so about a teaspoon of fresh oregano. I'm going to stir that up in my pot and cook that for about a minute. This is smelling delicious. Now I'm going to add my 8 cups of chicken broth. I'm going to stir this all in, making sure there's nothing stuck to the bottom of the pan. And I want to bring this to a simmer or low boil, medium-high heat, and I'm going to cover it to get it to that low boil. So now I have it on a low boil. You just see the little bubbles coming up slowly. I'm going to add in my pound of pasta. Then I'm going to add my cooked meatballs in. All those bits in there. This is like a chicken noodle soup, but Italian style with meatballs. A meatball noodle soup. Smelling so good. And I'm gonna want this low boil for around 15 minutes, just so the pasta is cooked and the meatballs are able to flavor the soup. Now, the last minute of your 15 minutes, you wanna add in a bunch of baby spinach. About 4 cups worth. And it's gonna wilt into your soup. Alright, let's plate it up. Delicious Italian wedding soup. Yum. Put some Parmesan Reggiano right on top. And you have a delicious Italian wedding soup. Put some extra little parsley leaves on top. Yum, look at that. That looks delicious. This is one of my family's favorite soups that I make during the week, so your family will not be disappointed. It is the perfect, cozy, weeknight holiday meal. So for my next recipe, we are doing my famous mushroom risotto. So I started making risottos after we went to Milan, Italy a couple summers ago. And oh my God, so Milan is the city of ossobuco and risotto. We didn't get a chance to have ossobuco, but we had a chance to get risotto, and it is delicious. Risotto is like a creamy pasta rice dish. So it's actually rice, but it tastes like a creamy pasta dish, like almost like a fettuccine is nice, cheesy, and comforting. It's like that, but really pillowy. This is the rice. It is arboro rice, delicious. So when we went to Milan, we went to this restaurant called Mama Rosa's. We had a truffle mushroom risotto. Oh my God. You had to roll us out of the restaurant. We were so stuffed because we couldn't waste a single bite. It was probably one of the most delicious things I've ever had. So ever since we went there, I created my own recipe for a mushroom risotto, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So for your first step for the mushroom risotto, you're going to want to take 5 cups of chicken broth, put it in a saucepan. I have one behind me, and just put it on medium heat because you want it to get nice and warm. We're going to use the chicken broth to cook our rice, so you want the broth to be nice and warm. Also, key ingredient for risotto, you want arboro rice. It is really fluffy, large grain rice. Oh, it's delicious. It is delicious. You also need half a cup of cheese. I did a mixture of Parmesan Reggiano and Pecorino Romano. So delicious. You could just do Parmesan Reggiano if you want. You need a thing of mushrooms, parsley and basil cut up. I have 2 shallots cut up. Now shallots are great because it's a mild onion, so if you have any picky eaters, shallots are great. It's almost like a mixture between a garlic bulb and an onion, what a shallot is, and it's delicious. I love the flavor of shallots in my risotto. 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I just chopped up some prosciutto. If you have a grocery store that does the cube prosciutto, that's even better, but that's just what I have in my fridge. And then you need 3/4 of a cup of a dry white wine. And this is all you need for a delicious mushroom risotto. So let's get to making it. So I have the chicken broth in this pot, staying nice and warm. I just added my 2 tablespoons of butter to medium-high heat on my Dutch oven. I will link this Dutch oven below because this is the best Dutch oven ever from Amazon. I got it in the middle of quarantine to make all my homemade soups and breads, and it's amazing because this can go in the oven. You can make so many great things with this. So I'm melting the butter. Now I'm going to add my prosciutto. So I'm going to add my chopped up prosciutto to my butter on medium heat. And I want my prosciutto to get nice and crispy, so it's going to take around 3 to 5 minutes. As always, my recipes are linked down below in the description box of my YouTube videos, so you can make these delicious recipes at home for your loved ones. So now my prosciutto is nice and crispy. I'm still on a medium heat. I'm going to add in my shallots and my mushrooms. And so they're all evenly coated in the pan. I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil just so it cooks my veggies. This is smelling so good. So good. So I'm going to let my mushrooms and shallots cook on medium heat until they're nice, soft, and tender, so around 5 to 8 minutes. I'm also going to add in some garlic salt over your left shoulder for good luck. And I'm going to add some pepper. When the mushrooms start to get soft, I like to break the mushrooms up into tinier bite-sized pieces. Now once my mushrooms are nice and soft and I broke them down into tinier pieces, we're going to add our arboro rice. So we're going to add our arboro rice, but we're going to want it to get a little bit toasty, so only have it in here for around 30 seconds to a minute. I'm going to stir it in until you start seeing the grains get a little bit toasty brown. And again, we're still on that medium heat. So I added my dry white wine after my rice got a little bit toasty and brown. And I'm going to want to let this cook on medium-low heat until the wine evaporates out. Okay, so now my wine has evaporated out. Now the trick is you want to slowly cook this rice. So again, we're on medium low to low heat. I'm going to grab half a cup of chicken broth and I'm going to add it to my risotto. And I'm going to constantly stir my risotto. And I'm going to add another half a cup once my risotto absorbs this liquid. So you'll know when the liquid is absorbed when you go like that and there is no liquid trapped in there. So I'm going to add another half a cup. And this should take around 20 to 30 minutes to cook my risotto. So again, I'm just going to stir. You want to let this slow cook on medium-low heat. And the flavors, oh my God, I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so good. But again, I see a little bit of liquid when I go like that, so it's not fully absorbed yet. Just gonna keep stirring until it fully absorbs. And this is like a one-pot dish, so easy. So when I go like that, a little bit of liquid, so maybe another 30 seconds or so. Go like that, there's no liquid. So again, another half a cup. Add it. Mix it up. So you're gonna wanna keep repeating adding the chicken broth to slowly cook the risotto. And you're going to do this around 20 to 30 minutes. Matt and I always love to talk about our favorite food from when we traveled, and of course COVID has prevented us from being able to travel, so that's why it's more fun to bring our favorite recipes at home at this moment in time. So comment down below your favorite place that you've traveled and maybe favorite food from where you traveled, because in Milan our favorite was this risotto. Italy does all the food right, so it's hard to pick, I guess, one favorite, but our favorite in the city of Milan would have to have been that truffle mushroom risotto. And I love trying out new cultures and new dishes where you can come home and now bring those dishes to your loved ones and family. It feels like we're traveling back to Milan. If you've never been to Milan, you need to put it on your bucket list. Amazing city. If you are not a fan of mushrooms, you can always omit the mushrooms and put in any veggie you want, or you don't even need a veggie in this dish. It is literally creamy, cheesy rice heaven. I just love it because the mushroom reminds me of when we were in Milan. You see how much bigger the rice grains are? All the rice is absorbing all that delicious chicken broth and it's flavoring the rice. Oh, this is gonna be so good with some Parmesan, pecorino on top, and some parsley. And what's great about both of these recipes, actually leftovers are probably even better than the first time you have the dish. So you can make these ahead of time before you have company over or for your family throughout the week as a meal prep, and microwave them, and they will be even more delicious than the first time you had them because all the flavors are sitting together in the fridge. This is delicious. Matt keeps asking me, is the risotto done? Is the risotto done? I'm so hungry. It smells good in here. That's another thing. This risotto will make your kitchen smell so good. So my risotto has finished absorbing all the chicken broth. I removed my pot from where the heat was. Now, this is where the magic happens. Add all your cheese, all your Parmesan Reggiano, Pecorino Romano, and stir that in, and you're going to see how creamy and delicious this risotto is. This is a dream. Look at that. I added in all my cheese. It is super creamy and delicious. All right, let's plate it up. This is the finished product. I'm gonna grate some more Parmesan cheese on top. Make it snow. Like I said, there is never enough cheese on your dishes. All right, and then we're gonna garnish it with some fresh parsley. Oh my gosh, look at that. This smells divine. This smells so good. Look at that. Delicious. These are our finished products. They are so good. I cannot wait for you to make them at home. Like I said, these are a perfect, easy meal to have during the holidays. They're even better as leftovers. You can make ahead for your family and loved ones, put it in the fridge, and then heat it up when they get there. But oh my God, this mushroom risotto. And like I said before, if you have picky eaters or you're a picky eater yourself and you're not a fan of mushrooms, make this with any vegetable you want or omit the mushrooms altogether. It's a delicious, creamy, cheesy rice. Oh, it is heaven. Matt is eating it right now in his office. And then with this soup, just serve it with a little baguette on the side, and you have a perfect, cozy weeknight dinner. I should say you have two perfect, cozy weeknight dinners. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I had fun making it. So let me know if you make these recipes. Tag me on Instagram, Mimosas with Maria. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. But again, thank you so much for watching. As always, like I mentioned before, all my recipes are linked down below in my description box below my YouTube video, so you can print these recipes out and make these delicious recipes at home for your loved ones. And when you do, tag me on my Instagram, Mimosas with Maria. And thank you again for watching. Bye, loves.